Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Game 1 in the books, and even though Maryville made them sweat, Team Liquid Honda Challengers were able to pick it up with an incredible team fight focus. Arrow coming online on the Aphelios late game there, and Cubby, this is kind of how I expected things to go, honestly. When we looked at Maryville, we know that they have the synergy, they have the team play. We saw that in the early stage of the game, often where they look the best, but as things got later is where Team Liquid Honda was able to pick it up.
I think the TLC just had the right solution for that game. Group with a Malphite. At any point, Malphite can just kind of walk at you, and he doesn't take a lot of damage. So that was really it.
Mountain.
Yeah, that was really it. I mean, it was Ivern, Malphite, Alistar. No one can get through that front line. And I think they fought on the right spikes, given where their team was at. And they fought before that Kai'Sa got strong. Kai'Sa was going to be the one that could break that composition. So props to TLC for making the right call. Just get Malphite at 2 items, group up. They won the game from there.
I will just point out as well, I think a huge factor earlier on, what we always see Maryville opt into is Odd Orange having a lot of say around the map. And I actually feel like Mir, with constant presence on the Ivern, made that job difficult. And while I think Maryville still had that lead, it wasn't as far as maybe they would have wanted to have. And I got to give credit to Mir's Ivern.
The Ivern pick put in a lot of work, even if those early scraps did slightly go Maryville's way. We saw the level 1, even the solo kill picked up by Gip back there. Pretty slick stuff. You know, actually, pushing the limits against APA and putting him on the ropes. And that brings us to the conversation. I wonder what was typed in all chat, maybe around
wish I knew
that moment, because I know we were talking about this. We were talking about how spicy all chat could get between these two teams. So we're gonna play a little bit of a game. Now, I unfortunately have to admit something to everybody. So this is where we have to do the backup game, because the primary game was gonna be we were just gonna look at their all chats. Unfortunately, they weren't all chatting that much. There were a few things, and we'll talk about them later.
APA got all of his chatting out in my group chat with
exactly. Yeah. I think they got out of the lobby before going into the game.
I feel like there might have been some mutes going on, you know?
And
maybe even a block. Who knows?
I'm happy you mentioned that. Because we're going to play a new game called Alignment. We're doing an alignment chart based on how we think these players approach the mentality of the game. Do they have all chat on or do they have all chat off? Now that means that they can see all chat or they can't see all chat, whether it's muted or not. And then do they use it or do they not? Because I think some people will have all chat on. They'll see what their opponents are chirping, but they'll choose to not type back.
Is there a world where you have all chat on and somebody calls you out and you don't talk back?
I think so. I think there could be. Well, we'll see. We'll see if any of the players might have that, because I'm going to have the two of you go through this one. So let's start with Team Liquid. Where do we think that they would go? Where does Bradley lay on this alignment chart?
No, just start with APA. Put him top right. That's
top right all the way. Maybe
keep it
even
easy.
like off of the graph, like off into the top. Like
keep it easy.
Yeah. He's breaking the bounds of the graph right now. Yeah. That's how far off he is. Okay, boom. You know what? We'll put him like right there. Cool. All right, so who do we want to go next?
So I actually know that Zyko leaves it on. I don't know if he uses it a lot. But back in CLOL, he was the one player that had it on because Maryville was typing a lot with St. Thomas. So it's at least on.
Yeah, and I will say, based on what I saw from the few all chats that happened in the game, he was not typing at all. So yeah, I think he's a witness. Maybe he gives the information to the team to motivate them.
Yeah.
He's a lurker.
He's a lurker.
You heard it here first. Zyko's a lurker.
Okay. All right. Next up, who are we feeling?
Gotta be Odd Orange. All chat on and uses, right?
No, I feel like Odd Orange is just perfectly in the middle because he honestly could be anywhere on this chart. It just depends on the day.
Have you seen some of the things that he's posted on Twitter in the all chats in his solo queue games?
That solo queue, not ranked. I feel like it's in the middle.
We lost the graph. Oh, it's back. Okay.
It just depends on the day. He can literally be anywhere on the spectrum.
Oh, no. Where'd the graph go? It's back.
We're falling apart.
We're falling apart right now. OBS virtual cam can only do so much. All right, so the middle ground. Perfect middle ground for Odd Orange. Not what I was expecting for him. I'm more on the zone.
That's not my vote. That's not my position that I give him.
All right, you know what, Mizel? Let's teamwork this. Where do you put
him? Schrodinger's orange. That's what we call it. That's why he's so odd.
Like halfway between APA and him right now.
Okay.
Yeah, like right there.
So he's
a little
in
bit less. A little bit less. A little bit less.
A little bit less?
A little bit less. A little bit less. A little bit less. A little bit more. There we go. Look.
Okay. That was very hard to do based on.
Imagine if you were like holding up a painting. I could just hold you there.
I feel like,
Like
Arrow
Rafa
just
when I was helping him put up his audio equipment. Yes, Cubby.
I can't decide for this narrative if Arrow just has seen everything so he doesn't care and just leaves it on, or if he just turns it off because he doesn't care.
I feel like he just knows he doesn't need to talk.
He definitely doesn't use it. So
Yeah, so he doesn't all. We know he's going to be over here.
it's just, is it on or off?
I think it's off.
You think
All right.
off?
I think it's off.
I could see that. I could see a
He's
world where
Zen
Arrow's
mental.
that guy.
He is Zen mental.
It was a bit of a BAP gap that last game. So all right, Arrow, he balances out APA. These are the two carries at TL.
I actually feel like there's a lot of quiet members on TL. You know,
Yeah.
you walk quietly but carry a big stick. That's what they call
I think APA actually carries it for everybody. Honestly, I think that we
He's
could.
literally carrying all 5 of the sticks.
Maybe Bradley's
walking
more
around.
like here, like he'll sometimes use it, but I imagine
if-
that everybody else.
What if deep down,
Oh.
like really deep down, Kim Down was just like, loves to flame people in all chat, you know? He's like the nicest person we talk to in interviews, but like then deep down, you know, he's got to type some things.
I will just say for Bradley, I got to give some
No, that's
caveats.
definitely not the case, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely not the case. I
funny.
will just say for Bradley, though, like, Bradley's the wholesomest guy, right? He's so nice. He's so sweet. He gets a little fire under him sometimes, all right?
No,
I'm just saying. We were
I've-
recording a piece last night, and the man was talking, all right? So I'm just saying, maybe.
I've scrimmed against Bradley.
Maybe.
All chat is for sure on, and he for sure uses it, just not to the same degree that APA does.
All right, what about Niles? What do we feel about this one?
Ooh, I feel like that's an all-in and uses for sure.
No, I feel like
know.
Niles doesn't use it quite as much anymore. It just
He
depends.
always does pre-game chats, though.
That's true.
I think it's on. I don't know if he uses it, so I would maybe put like over here.
If somebody said something to Niles, there is no way in hell if he sees it, he's not responding.
That's true.
Like,
Good
there's
call.
no way.
And I also feel like part of how much he all chats depends on how much Odd Orange decides to all chat. Because, you know, you got to back a brother up.
True.
That's
So just put them right there next to each
I feel
other.
like
Dash Bros
that
together
factors
and
in.
everything.
Yeah, that factors in.
It factors in, of course. All right, we got 2 more off the
All
board.
right,
Let's
I got
see,
one
get
for
back.
Scary Jerry here.
Scary
I don't know
Jerry,
if this
okay,
is
okay.
true. I hope that his all chat is off and he doesn't use it. Because I feel like this man, he has a lot of confidence. He's willing to talk trash. I wanted to focus on the game. I want to
Okay.
focus on his mechanics.
So we're thinking over here.
I don't know. I
That's a
feel like
hope.
so. What Mazelle's
That's where
saying,
I want.
what Mazelle's saying is that if he coached Maryville, he would ban Scary Jerry from all chat.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Agreed. Yeah, he should be down here. But is he? Is he?
Is
Cubby?
he? Probably not.
Is he over there? I don't know.
I actually don't know either. I'm kind of lost on this one. Part of me, I want to believe that maybe it's off, but he uses it. You know, like maybe he mutes everyone, but like he just needs to like use all chat.
Yeah,
for
we don't
himself,
have
and
this
he's like,
box really
sure, you
filled
know?
up. You know what? I'm
don't.
down for that, just for the narrative. You know,
I will say-
I'm pretty sure if you have it off, it literally says you cannot type in
No,
all
no, no, no.
chat.
You can
You can
have
mute.
it on, but you can mute everyone.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
can't see
Ah,
responses,
I see,
but
I
you can still
see.
type. All right.
I should have
Big
put
brain
all
right
mute
there.
instead of all off at the bottom. It is on in this scenario.
I have for sure done that before, and it's not just typing GG at the end. I will admit. So
All right, let's go
all right.
get back. Last one.
He's Australian, man. This got to be on. He has to talk some, you know.
Yeah.
for
We'll
sure.
put them up there. And honestly, I bet they were that last time around in the mid lane, or at least I was hoping that they would. Now, this last game, I will admit, it turned out to be a little more tame than I was hoping. But we did have one spicy thing at the very end. As I got to show you, so this is what you see on OBS Virtual Cam. This is somehow what happened on my screen. I don't know why it looks like this now, but I just wanted to show that off real quick. Okay, so
Why
we
is
have
it
our
like
producers
watermarks?
loading up. One of the spicy things that was said, this was put in the lobby, not actually in all
It's
chat.
100. Oh, okay. That's lame.
Okay.
It is slightly lame, but I think this kind of tells the story of that last game, no?
All right, that's actually really funny.
Of course, it just had to be.
And
I
I
love
will
it.
say,
I love
there
it.
was one thing said by APA to get back. He said, "0-1, hold that," after he died. So he did pick up the kill right afterwards, obviously. You know,
He did. He did. Hold that L, bro.
The favorite phrase that I learned from APA when we had him on Raising an A this past week is he calls it flashing air. So it's when you flash nothing, or like you flash like the auto attack like still hits you.
Yeah.
So it's like an air ball. except with Flash, which I really like. I'm going to incorporate that into a
I don't know if
cast
you
for sure.
can chant airball. I don't know, like,
No, but flashing air is
You
fun.
could as a
Flash
play-by-play
air.
caster. You absolutely could. Yeah.
It's funny. I'm gonna incorporate that. That's all I'm saying.
I think it fits. Well, either way,
It
let's
does.
see what
I
Game
like
2
it.
has in store for us. And if any more spicy all chat happens, I'll be sure to bring it up in the interview with whoever wins this next game. Let's see if Maryville has it in them to go 1-1 against Team Liquid. Odd Orange said in his interview last week that he thinks that's what they'll do. Mazel Cubby, take it away.
Alrighty, we will take it and run with it. We are getting in Game 2. We'll see if Maryville and Odd Orange prediction can become true. We do have TL on this blue side. They'll be taking away that Pantheon first and foremost from Niles. The Ivern joined the ban table by MU.
All right. So that tells me that TLC might want Renekton if they're going to be taking away that Pantheon, as that is a pick that Niles has used quite a bit. Poppy as well. I feel like Poppy is one of the better answers that we have right now into specifically Sejuani. Now, in order to get a Sejuani, we're oftentimes seeing Kindred bans and sometimes Vi bans too. So I think you have to take Kindred away from Mir. And I think that Kindred is just a good ban for Maryville. But hey, someone finally has denied Arrow Aphelios. Let's go.
Let's go. He's not going to get it yet again for... Goodness gracious. 10 times. Anyways, it is going to be something changing in the bottom lane, but still to be determined if that's going to turn out well for either side, especially with some of the options that are still on the table. I know we were getting like the Varus bans, things like that last game. We do get the LeBlanc final ban for TL in the first phase at least.
And you're up against APA. I think you have to ban Nico here, as APA has been playing Nico before it was cool, and it has actually been banned from. It's not been in any pick ban that has APA in it. But I was teasing the Kindred to set up the possible Sejuani. Kindred's still on the board, so will be taken by Mir. We have seen TL be really flexible when it comes to Mir and APA about who plays carries, who plays supports. We've seen this get paired up with Nautilus by APA. I know Coach Spawn has credited them with their 2v2. It feels like they can play either role and play it well. So the roles are flip-flop this time, with Mir being on the carry and not APA. And we'll see if APA can support Mir in this game and enable TLC to get that 2-0.
That's what we were talking about coming into the series as a whole, right? There has been strong performances from every single person on TLC, and that's the strength. You have that flexibility in all 5 roles.
I mean, it's that's what happens when you're 16-3. Everyone's playing pretty well. I'd hope so. So
I'd hope, man. We do get that Kaisa lock in though for Scary Jerry, so just trying to seal that one away again.
I will say that taking Rel here is what we see a lot of teams do, but Alistar, I think, goes up in value when you're up against the Kindred just because it gives you a lot of control over the Lamb's Respite, as it will at least be Tristana taken. I really like Trist. This is technically flexible, as Trist into Kaisa is an option. So
You've seen double marksman. How about triple marksman? I don't want to see that. I don't know if I want to see that. The Rel does come through, though, in the end.
also lanes well with Trist. So I really could see Arrow taking this in the bot lane up against Kaisa. And that is going to be the immediate Alistar response. Now, banning Silas, it's not exactly an APA champ. It is a Bradley champ going way back. So I still think taking that away is smart, as Silas just gets so much value when you're going into Alistar if you do take away that ultimate. We've seen Young use that to great success already in this split. But we'll see if Maryville wants to maybe take that gambit of letting the Silas through, or also maybe taking it for themselves, as a Cassio ban is one of the matchups that APA does really like into Silas, and Get Back can play Silas himself, so that could be an option too.
God, I'm really curious of what we get here. If we get kind of utilitarian mid laners as well, but specifically what TL's focus is in the second phase. See so many availabilities in these solo lanes for Niles, for Get Back. It's going to be first and foremost that Renekton that gets taken out.
I am a bit surprised they didn't secure that one. And top side, I guess that kind of escaped me.
Lane matchup
draft,
matters.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure they had the Alistar. So that does give you a lot of control around Lamb's Respite. We'll see if it's another pairing being denied from TLC for that top side. I will say, I'm not really worried about Olaf. If I'm TLC, that's another one that comes to mind. But Kennen ban, I might want to think about a Jax ban here against double marksman. If you are taking away Kennen, getting rid of Jax could be a good decision here from TLC.
Yeah, also just gives away some of that solo lane pressure, the side lane pressure that I feel like Maryville can utilize really well. You get that, and then though a lot of team fight potential to set up the double marksman taken away. The Gnar is actually the ban towards Niles. So 3 bans towards that top lane, I guess 4 technically with the flexibility of the Poppy, but it's Get Back going straight back to the Jace.
And that's a flex. Niles and Get Back both play this champion and play it well. So Get Back get off to a good start in the last game. And we know that Niles can play the Jace from his time in LCS even too. So,
Want to blind Jace top?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know about the matchup yet. So we'll see where it ends up going. But looks like it will be a Cassante deny coming out. So that, I will say, does make the Gnar ban make a little bit more sense. Niles, his most played is Gnar the split, excuse me. As we'll see if it is going to be a Jax answer for Niles, as we have seen that matchup quite frequently in the top side, Cassante versus Jax.
Absolutely have. I do wonder, though, do we get any spice here? Because right now, with the all-in nature of the comp for TL, at least in the bot lane 2v2, this has to be, okay, it is going to be the Annie locked in. So, again, kind of going to that theme, you've got Bradley, who will be able to access backline. The all-out's going to be huge. He will be going up against a tough task in the Gwen matchup, but you have a lot of decisiveness on Team Liquid's side, Cubby.
I like this a lot. You can still combo a little bit with the Sejuani. It's a good matchup into the Cassante. And there aren't a ton of ways we can dogpile onto the Gwen. Gwen's not going to like the Rel engage. Rel makes life really hard for all melee brawlers. But you still have the Shroud to protect yourself from Annie, Kindred, and Tristana. So you're going to force them to jump into you. And you have a lot of control over Lamb's Respite here on the side of Maryville with that Alistar, which Zyko has already showed that he can play to a really high level. So I think the draft here for Maryville actually rounds out okay. I want to see if Get Back can pressure the Annie enough in mid lane, because in an isolated 1v1, I've seen some Jaces absolutely maul Annie. I remember seeing a level 1 first blood over an LPL actually from your boy Scout in this matchup, which is pretty insane. Get Back's a great Jace player. I want to see if he can pressure APA in this matchup, and Maryville might be able to open up some space for Sejuani from there.
Well, we're going to see if Maryville can make good on their promise of a 1-1 split against Team Liquid Challengers. We're headed on the rip for Game 2 of our kickoff, the second round robin. Make sure you're spamming in chat who you think's going to win. MU for Maryville, TLC for Team Liquid Challengers. Yet it was Maryville who came out in game number 1 with a decent lead, a lot of skirmishing, a lot of fighting. If that still remains the case going into Game 2.
I think diving into the nitty-gritty of some of the choices we might see from our players in this game. Likely to see Leandries from APA. As I already hear all chat going off. APA got an auto off on Get Back. I guarantee he typed after that. It was +8 from the first strike, Mazel. That matters.
In the grand scheme of everything, it is the moment that mattered most. That's what we'll come back to. We'll call back. Maryville have a lot of representation in the chat right now. My goodness. And get out those Saints.
Love to see the Collegiate Faithful show up strong. As at the moment, looks like it will be top to bot clears for each of our teams, which I think does favor Niles in that matchup in the long haul. Cassante can rival a bit early, but once Gwen gets some levels, it can be really difficult to match in this top side. As Gwen into Cassante gets dangerous later, Mazel.
It does. That's something we'll have to keep checking in on as well. All eyes right now are on Auto Orange and Mir, trying to figure out where their path is going to lead early on. Do like Scary Jerry getting the second attempt at the Kaisa. The matchup into the Tristana is not going to be an easy one. I think that can be offended if you get Mir down this way, or if you get Auto Orange the other side down this way for Maryville. And I expect there to be some pretty heavy presence down from Arrow and Kim down. Arrow not on his Aphelios this time. Still looking to make him pay.
And Niles is able to ding that level 2 first, so already pressuring a bit into Bradley, who, fun fact, of course, his last collegiate match was actually against Maryville in 2021 when he was on Bethany, the mid laner. They lost to Maryville 3-1 there. Auto Orange was in that game. As Maryville has seen quite a bit of changes from there, but of course, Bradley has some collegiate representation as well. So see APA's dad in the chat. Yip.
Time to get going, Appa. And,
I guess Tibbers is kind of Appa, you know?
Yeah, true.
In some
Stand-up
weird way.
version of Appa with less legs. a little bit of a different body structure.
Wow.
Yes,
Look at this.
We do get TL back on their grind, looking at those early advantages for themselves here with this double marksman comp, and they get full presence of 4. But there's a TP coming in. MU want to make it work, want to make something happen. The crash down goes through. Kim down, locked down here, and Niles over the wall at first blood to Maryville. Get back trying to take down APA as he comes through the mid lane. And Auto Orange, they're trying to chase down their former teammate. They want to take him down. This one's for you, Ian, as Get Back gets the kill.
Good TP from Niles. That was opened up by the fact that he knew it was a top-to-bot clear from Mir. So he actually cut the wave. He TPs to the fight and will get back to pick up most of the wave in time with first blood given over to him. Love the call from Maryville, as this is a call I don't think a lot of our challengers teams would go for, but they really catch TLC off guard. As you can see, Zyko, really nice combo with the Q flash to make sure that Kim gets picked up, and then APA flashed out of here. Get back, he golf swinged them in, and then starts running them down without Orange in the back half.
Really love the commitment here. We always say commit to the bit in NACL. Well, Maryville absolutely committed, and now we're right back to the bottom lane. The double stun comes through from Kim down, and Mir is just trying to constantly stay in advantage in this jungle matchup.
Well, it looks like Orange is actually able to get both the crab and the blue buff, so Mir is only going to take away this Gromp. Could look for the wolves if he really wants to, but honestly, decent start here for the side of Maryville, as they were able to defend their jungle against the shoving lanes of TLC, even going to delay Mir's base, as well as a nice W coming out of Scary Jerry. Will buy Auto Orange more time, and Auto Orange feels really good about this first clear against Kindred.
Absolutely. The amount of vision that Maryville had down on the bottom side, it just labels Mir a target in the end, and that does mean because of that delayed back, Auto Orange gets this mark. It's also snip waiting in the wings, as Niles is making sure they can connect this. The 2v2 kicks off in bottom lane as the rocket jump forward. This might be it for Arrow, but he does get stopped in the middle of it, and Scary Jerry, he's looking to make good on that first game here in that 2v2. Can't do it though, and now the pull back though, Kim down, goes in, but it's very tight, tension-filled stuff in the bot lane 2v2.
Looks like Miriam was able to get that camp away, but will not get access to the crab. It's a double crab here for the side of Odd Orange. And this Kindred, it's set behind. It's a gold lead for MU. Gwen's up in the matchup after TPing to Narnia. Compared to where the top wine's at, Mazel. As Mir
Can't
forces
stop,
fight again.
won't stop, says Hot Orange. He's got to lock him down. APA is luckily right around the corner, but Mir in some trouble here, trying to get down to the bottom side and get his clearing going. Right now, 1,000 gold plus for Maryville. And I know we've talked endlessly about their comeback, but these are the kinds of advantages that lead out to these wins we've seen from them.
What we'd really like to see from Maryville's play, they have some unique takes on the game and some unique takes on how they can play the map. Especially, I'm thinking of the Pantheon Mazel. Niles can really speed up some of those early parts of the mid game with those ults. And that TP bot from Niles, I mean, Niles made some really clever plays. I think this split of Challengers has caught some of our teams off guard, and even catching our top,
big one.
Yeah, catching our top dogs off guard there with that TP. That's why Maryville has a nice lead here early.
And it's a play that Maryville actually go to a decent amount, even if they're behind or ahead, right? They try to get influence from Niles on the bottom side of the map, and this time it works out very well. I can recall to a Pantheon moment that maybe didn't, but it's about the growth we've seen from Maryville and the way they've been able to execute a lot of these things we saw them not able to execute in previous weeks. So it is that growth. It is the 9-10 now record where they were 9-9 coming into this series, but it's the fight they've been able to give up against our top team.
Now that, Zyko said after that week one, they sat down, talked about their goals in Challengers League, and said, hey, we're here to fight and see how much better we can get throughout the split. As it's an opportunity that a lot of collegiate teams would crave, playing in a Tier 2 league the entire time, but one that Maryville has rightfully earned, given their promotion in here. And so far, their play in the split, which has been even more impressive to me.
That continues here, and we get that 1-1 we were promised. The Dragon has been up for a little while. Get back, gets pressed out of mid lane. You wonder, with a lot of this vision game around this Dragon pit for Maryville, if TL really even have a say on this bottom side. That is another mark that spawned down towards Sabat, and Odd Orange will pick that one up. So I don't know if Gear's actually really been able to get any marks.
They are going to try and get the Herald. Niles dropped the ward, which actually spots out Mir on the top side, but APA found the chunk on to get back, and Kim down is in mid first, so does not get 6 off this wave, but this is going to be enough pressure, I think, for TLC to safely start up this Rift Herald as Kim will use the sweeper to find a control ward. That does mean that this
new
is
tech
at least going to be within vision for Maryville, and they will use this information to make sure that they at least trade this out for the first dragon.
Oh, Maryville don't want to give it up. They started up the dragon, but Niles immediately started booking it up top lane, and Bristol's getting a little bit sweaty running all the way up here, but they're about to contest this one, Cubby. And it looks like Kim Down wants to take the first fight. Arrow goes over the edge. Unites Glacial Prison does come out from Auto Orange, who's been really good on saving his team with those. The Rift Herald does go over to TL.
I like that find from Kim and TL, as they at least split the fight and made it so that Maryville could not collapse into them. I think that's what bought them the space to make sure that Herald went over to them properly. But on the back half, we are going to see TL actually switch up the lane. So Bradley held onto his TP. He's going to TP bot so that Arrow doesn't, or they don't miss waves as a team. Arrow can stay up here and try and push in the Niles, so deny some resources from them. I think the play initially for Maryville was actually good, but that TP bot on the back half saves this for the side of TLC, and they're going to win out.
They are indeed so far. I love some of these advantages, though, given over. And I specifically... Oh,
Cluster shot.
Oh, he stops it. Arrow getting the deny of the TP, and Bradley open season on bot lane turret.
That's really big for the side of TLC, because that's going to be another wave that dies and goes wayward. So TLC finding little plays to bounce back into this game as well. Something that I think has really been the big difference of why TLC is 16-3 in our league. They always seem to find things like this.
They do indeed. And it's the grit that's shown through, but also the mechanical execution we've seen from every single member on this team, right? This is an organization, at least in Tier 2, that has known so much success in developing and bringing them into the fold and promoting players.
Yeah.
We were so excited when APA joined this roster from Maryville, from the squad that he's facing up against right now, his previous brothers, and his team Liquid, who have been this stalwart developmental titan in our league. The 2 Chainz squad, the only member being Bradley left on the team, everyone else finding those promotions, finding those moments, and it is truly incredible to watch what they've been able to carve out for themselves in this season.
It's wild to think that 4 ex-members of TLA from just a year ago, there are 2 groups of 2 that are on top half LCS squads.
Exactly. And
then to have TLC be 16-3 in this league on the back half is pretty crazy to think about. To give everything that Team Liquid has been able to develop. And if you are just joining us from the LEC, welcome. As we are in Game 2 on LCS Challengers. We've got 2 more series to go, 2 more best of 2s, I should say. But at the moment, our top dogs in the league, TLC, looking to make sure this is a 2-0 against Maryville, who did start off week 1, 1-5, and have really been clamoring and taking down some of our good teams here in Challengers as the only collegiate squad that has ever played in Tier 2 at this level.
And they were able to give a good fight early game now in both games, but so far Team Liquid has rounded out win, at least in game number 1, and now in game number 2 seem like they have some fight back. There is some history between these 2 teams, though, as you're coming into this one joining us. The story of the take is that APA was promoted to TLC from Maryville University. He is facing against his previous teammates in Niles, Auto Orange, Get Back, and he's able to find a lot of these chirping moments against his previous teammates, and a lot of fun to be had between these matchups, but it's all business on the Rift here, Cubby.
It's not only that. I mean, APA, even in this offseason, he went and boot camped at Maryville. So he was actually in the same place as these guys. They were going on that collegiate run where they made finals, and Maryville, of course, took second, losing to the University of St. Thomas. As Dardoch and friends able to get the best of them. But yeah, I mean, these guys are close. I know Maryville, they really wanted to take down Ian and TLC, but at the moment, they have their hands full. As
Ian's APA, we can call him that because we know him really well. And I don't know the whole copy pasta. I was going to try to say it, but I could call him by his first name.
The true Challengers fans who were here at the start will, they'll remember the interview clip. Auto Orange now is calling him out, so.
Oh, good times, good times. But a lot of blood given so far in this series, although Maryville find the first two here in this second game. We are looking at first item spikes all the way coming up. Get back to be very close, but you also have Scary Jerry on the static. Dragon already started by Maryville.
Oh, no.
This is the first Dragon of the game at 13 minutes in. See if actually a contest from Mir can't do it. Odd Orange gets it, and Maryville get out. Oh, Zyko, he wants to go back in. You got Arrow versus Scary Jerry on the side. You got to watch that 1v1 because right now Odd Orange is taking out Mir. The 1v1 though, Arrow outplays him, but he goes down anyways with the delayed auto. It's still Maryville looking for more, and Zyko finds another headbutt pulverize, and Get Back gets himself another one.
Great fight from MU as they secure the Dragon. Mir was never able to get down that Lamb's Respite, Bazell. I think that was the big difference maker in this one as Maryville, playing as a squad, chose their targets correctly. Get the Dragon, take down TLC.
Get a couple plates going the way of Get Back as well. And 2-0 on the Jace is starting off pretty dandy. And it's really just a gritty fight for Maryville. TL wanted it though.
Keep your eyes on Tamir. Nearly found the combo to take that Dragon for himself. But then the turn, everyone blows up Mir. He gets stunned up there. Chain stun, Odd Orange flash to make sure that he got Mir with the ultimate. That's what enabled Maryville to take him down before that Lamb's Respite was able to connect. So Mir gets outplayed by the side of Maryville, and TLC fall apart with no Lamb's Respite available.
Gotta give some shout outs to Zyko on this Alistair, man. He is literally picking apart the fights. The amount of engages. That's why, you know, this guy, a newer piece to Maryville's development, but especially not one that they are very easy to forget, because I think Zyko has been one of the biggest growing moments for Maryville over this split.
It's funny you bring that up because on the other side, Kim Down, he's someone that APA called the most underrated player in Challengers, talking about his teammate. And Kim Down also came from collegiate UCI. In his second split, he's shown a lot of improvement. So to see both him and Zyko really scaling up the split's been nice. As at the moment, we have a fight here.
Zyko goes for it though. They got the TP in from Maryville. Got a nice little engage with the Magnet Storm from Kim Down. Although Bradley does get a triple knockback, will actually be an escape from Mir out the side from Niles.
This is tough for Maryville. Okay, Kim Down falls.
Goes down. All right. And Bradley going to take a very cheeky back, but that's a big cash out for Maryville and a Rift Herald as well.
Yeah, but while all this is going on, APA, he wasn't able to join this fight, so TLC were actually able to disengage that one in the 4v5, and APA is going to get quite a bit of work done for himself on the side lane. Will not take this inner turret, but still, you can see the gold for TLC. It's not like there was a big swing off that one as Sejuani goes wide.
You dodge the ones that matter. You don't dodge the Praise Seeker. I'll take that all day long. Arrow with the quick moves, though. Odd Orange is trying to catch him out on the back. But it is Odd Orange who has been able to consistently fight back into Mir's aggressive kindred. And now that the map is unlocked, now that Zyko is constantly roaming, this duo, the setup potential that they have for the power pieces of Maryville is huge.
Yeah, I mean, ever since that early TP that Niles had bought to make sure that first play went in Maryville's favor, I'd love to click on Mir. I don't think Mir has a single mark.
Don't be made into hamburgers! Oh no! How do you think APA likes a medium rare?
I mean, whatever it was, that was fresh. As Zyko, he melted. And now Niles, he's going to get the turret, but we'll see if anything goes over to TLC afterwards.
Get the juice, too. He's getting a little bit aggressive on. Get down. Actually walking away from that one. I thought he had the angle there, but Niles making it out alive with the ghost.
They could not go for that play. If they did, Odd Orange could have dropped the second Rift Herald mid, and they would have gotten a nice crash to the inner and some bonus work. So a nice Mir to hide. I would love, though, if our observers could click on Mir. I want to see how many stacks he has.
I don't think he has a lot.
I think he's stuck at one. I don't think
it's a lot.
And a lot of credit should go over to Odd Orange, who I still think is having... He's at 2. Odd Orange is having a great split, man. Like, 1-0-4 on the side. He's keeping Mir down, our most valuable prospect from Spring. Who has played on the world stage, too. You might know him as Arthur from HLE. But Mir... honestly, he's been a beast this split. And for Odd Orange and Niles, really off that first play to then take that and run with it and build Maryville this small lead, it has been rather impressive to watch. So 2 games in a row where Maryville, I think they took some advantages early in draft, especially in that first game. But this time around, really able to find that advantage through their play. Again, TLC are our top dogs and a team that we credit for having good map play. So it's been really impressive to see our collegiate squad at least go toe-to-toe with them in some aspects.
Yeah. Now, I do just want to check in, though, because we did have a game one. That happened. It was a situation where Maryville had early advantages. There was a double marksman comp that came online for TL.
They got
We're in a
rock
much
monster.
similar situation here, but a little bit better situation for Maryville in terms of the picks they have. Do we see a timer being started for Team Liquid to get these items on board and really start turning these fights?
All right, Kim found Niles. A little bit worried for that. I don't think TL is really on a timer just because you have Mir on the Kindred. He's going to scale so hard this game. The one concern is really going to be how do you deal with Gwen? And Get Back has the most gold in the game. You can see APA at the moment. He gets spotted out by Maryville. He will be looking for those angles as Bradley.
Pushing back to the hamburger, trying to feed the team, but Kim down goes down right before he can even get an engage off. Zyko with that Unbreakable will be just that in Maryville. This should be a second dragon for them.
Yeah, personally, I don't think your Cassante ult being used at Alistar is the best move. As the Psycho gets yoinked into the team and finds Kim down going in. That's a freebie going over to Maryville as they pick up the dragon and a kill and continue to cruise.
Orange going to stay aggressive as well with the push from Niles in the side lane. These two, when they connect, are so darn scary. You do have a response from Team Liquid in full, though, coming out here. And, I think Orange maybe wanting to try to get this Rift Herald down into the tier 2, but Bradley and Kim being down here makes it a little bit more difficult. Love to see Orange actually circle back and go deny yet another mark because Mir is right on the precipice of that 4. I would love to see that kind of emphasis on these stacks across the board, but you do got to expect that the presence comes with a little bit of a relaxation time here, as we do have Baron coming up, but not much else, and Maryville still in an advantage.
I think the real big spike here for Maryville is going to be when Tristana gets that third item, what I expect to be an LDR. That's really, I think, where Maryville will have to be scary or scared of the side of TLC. As at the moment, TLC, I think, still kind of on damage control on the side of Maryville, given that Kindred is still at 3 stacks, and there is no second item, what looks to be Black Cleaver coming in, which will help shred. And that's what TL is going to try and find here, some armor shred between the Kindred and the Tristana, and even the Annie with that incoming Void Staff, just trying to get through the Beefcakes that got ahead on the side of MU.
Finding one big Flash Tibbers makes the difference. One big Lamb's Respite makes the difference for at least TLC against Maryville. And I think now that Maryville have gotten a nice little reset off, they have 2 item spikes coming up for a majority of members. Can be a point of strength for them. I'm still looking for a come up from Scary Jerry and Zyko. I know you're talking a lot about Zyko, but I think on the other hand, Scary Jerry, from his come up, his rocketing journey from Converse in CLOL and making it here to Maryville and trying to be an upstart ADC has been a very cool journey to watch.
So, another game on the Kaisa, opportunity to show what he's made of this time around, as he doesn't have a Rock Monster to deal with in that Mel fight. Rock Monster was big in game 1, man.
And Tofu's hurt too, okay?
Yeah, but you're a marksman. I'd rather eat those and get rocked. So,
Yeah, true.
yeah,
Quite literally.
it was quite literally. Let's get back, cleans that one up for
Still,
himself.
I still feel like there's so many options from better names for Malphite's abilities. But it will maybe have an open-ended discussion about that another time.
I mean, if Wukong is Monkey King, Melfight's Rock Monster. That's all I'm gonna say.
But I'm saying, like, unstoppable force, you know, it could have just been give him the rock. Something like that. I don't know.
I feel like that's the cue. You know, he throws a shard. That's just he gives him a rock.
There you go. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyways, APA throwing up the emote of the Ziggs. Also, a shout out to our pre-show, by the way. The response that Mr. Ziggs had, APA himself had against Maryville when they were saying all the trash talk that Orange and Niles said in their interview. It was the Ziggs picture that came through. He's cooking up an alchemical composition, and so far he still needs to make it come to fruition.
Still, things have slowed down a little bit, which I really think TLC needs at the moment. Now, once the Kais is online, the poke from Jace is going to be really tough to deal with. TLC do have ways to pull the trigger. I just think that they need LDR on this Tristana to have enough DPS to get through, what is that, a rather beefy front line in the Sejuani plus the Alistar, as TLC is looking to pick off the mid-outer turret.
Arrow puts himself out there. Auto Orange will grab him with the Glacial Prison. Tower still does fall as the Shock Blast goes through. And now no outer towers remain for Maryville.
Yeah, Bradley's just playing catch. He's like, I'll step up, take that Shock Blast. I'll take the W2. It's all good. Anyone's going to catch it, it's going to be the Cassante. Niall's trying to answer from the bot side. And again, still more map pace. Maryville hanging in there when it comes to the macro of TLC and should be rewarded here with this bot turret.
Actually had a consistent gold lead all game, and actually ballooning it here to over 3.5k. So Niles maybe getting caught out here trying to take a 1v3. The Tivers comes down, and they find the side lane pick. Bradley's the one that picks it up, but TP on the other side. They've got to get back. Bradley is backing. He's TPing in as well. You don't have much of a response. Mir is nowhere nearby. Team Liquid, they just got duped as Maryville take the Baron.
Mir was on reset, and TLC is really going to try and push here as Bradley's coming in with no ult. They can't push anymore. Maryville, they drop Niles, take the Baron. You'll take that any day of the week as Maryville.
Absolutely. You take that distractionary tool, and it's map pressure now, map presence given over to Maryville with this Baron. It's the Turo Baron buff for another 2.5 minutes. And it's something that Maryville absolutely can play through. They have a 4,000 gold lead, but now they will have to try to use this push as much as possible as TL take their dragon.
And 2 inners for them to easily cut through should be good. They will lose the dragon as this will be denied, but maybe a fight in the back half.
Echo. Time for the engages. Seen this time and time again, though. Bradley, pretty tanky, willing to take all those shots every which way. Be able to get out of that one. So Team Liquid, although they were aggressed out of the pit, was the dragon secured for them.
We'll see how much Maryville can get off this Baron. I think things are okay right now for TLC because if it is a Black Cleaver being wrapped up for the Kindred, the value of the Kindred goes way up in this game. Not to mention that Tristana is still working towards that LDR. My eyes still really going to be kept on this Kai'Sa, as once this third item is complete, Kai'Sa will be the one that has to do the majority of the damage. See if Scary Jerry can position well enough to make sure that DPS is going out in the team fights.
3 items now for Get Back as well. Speaking of total gold, he is the richest person on the Rift. Maryville are the richest side on the Rift as well. Got a nice little move in the mid lane. A tier 2 will fall just because of how quickly they take these turrets.
You'll see we're able to push out the top lane where the last inner falls, so Maryville is going to try and answer bot and lay siege upon an inhibitor turret. That's where Jace is going to be big. As Psycho does blow that ultimate early. Love that TLC just take that cooldown and back off. That's really big now, because that will open up a chance for them to actually turn things around.
Bradley taking the brunt of the storm after the end of it. 50 seconds left on the Turo Baron buff. He's still got a decent amount of pushing to do. Niles pushing on the mid in tower as well, but nothing else going to come of it for Maryville. Feeling a little less confident to keep pushing up. Not much else to fight for, though. Still a little while on this Baron buff. They need to keep the siege going.
Really tough for Zyko to go in now, because he will melt to the side of TLC. There's no Alistar ultimate to get out of something like an Annie stun or Tivers. But TLC is still pretty far behind in this one. As, it looks like Arrow's going to take a pit stop at the BT. I can somewhat understand that, trying to survive some of the poke from the Jace and the Kai'Sa that will come out, but I still think LDR is so important for him actually doing damage in this game. And speaking of damage, once that death cap comes in from the Gwen, that's going to be another significant threat that TLC can have some trouble dealing with.
Absolutely will. I don't know if there's going to be a side lane answer necessarily available for that one. It's going to be very difficult to approach as well. Next is Vision, though, for Team Liquid. Just trying to find something. Get some cohesion between Arrow and Mir on these double ADCs.
Oh, might
try
have
to
to
get a catch out on Denials.
TLC, they did drop a control board here. Now, there was a plant that Maryville blew. Didn't quite see them. As TLC hoping that Niles pushes through this. Niles will get the bad news, the control board. Bradley maybe trying to be some bait here.
We got some 4D chess going on right now between these two teams.
The trap, yeah.
Who's going to step out first? Who's got the stronger poker face? As we actually see TL moving around the corner. Not end up taking the advantage there. Rest of Maryville moving into their blue side jungle. Does end up spotting out Mir. That went away. I'm pretty sure Mir is still on 3 marks, 27.5 minutes in.
Tough going here for the side of TLC. Again, they're pretty far behind in the inventories. I'm honestly really scared for them once this death cap comes in from Niles, as this Gwen build, those ultimates hit so hard. And the rather squishy backline of TLC, they're really going to have to find a way to deal with Gwen early, or have control over Lamb's Respite, because Gwen's going to do too much damage for them to deal with.
I don't think I've seen a Kindred shut down this heavy in a long time, and it just comes with the cohesion that they've had. And it's Mir. That's the biggest factor here. It is literally our MVP from last split. Bradley will be dodging out of that Glacial Prison, but it's a tier 2 tower going to Maryville.
6k gold lead as Soul Point available for them in 50 seconds. They're going to rotate some of their power back. Baron up in a minute. There is a sneaky ward that TLC does have behind them, as they will see Auto Orange dash into that brush. And TLC, that first stay on the map, they want to take control of this dragon. I think taking control, maybe setting up for a big Annie ultimate, could be a good opener to the fight here for TLC.
Reset's a little late for Maryville. They're going to try to get back over to this mid lane, get some priority there, but the resets from Get Back in Auto Orange now have been pulled off. If they just want to reposition, get some vision down here, though. Right now, it's TL who have full priority over this dragon that's spawning in 10 seconds.
Somewhat of a tense game here. As well, I want to see if Maryville face check this. I respect Maryville's discipline to not walk in here and give away this dragon, because after this, if they do set up around the Baron, they will have full poke from the Kaisa plus the Jace to try and dissuade TLC from getting too close to this objective. So we'll be dropped by the side of Maryville, but they're sacrificing this to control the Baron side of the map.
Get that control lens to anything here.
Elixir pops.
We do have Niles rejoining the team.
Niles is so big. He's 16 with death cap.
That is actually incredible and so difficult for TL to approach. He gets on anybody, they just get snipped out of existence.
That's good. They got Mir to half. Maryville's playing this really soundly. Look at the poke they're connecting with the Kaisa, and Niles is still hitting himself.
Psycho's on the flank
this is
here
deadly.
as well. Niles trying to take down APA here. Maybe they're trying to pounce. Look at that. They go on APA. A little bit of blood giving him way. And APA goes down to his former team. And now it's Scary Jerry heading for the hills. The double knockup from Zyko's pretty big, but Maryville are taking it front to back, trying to make it to their ADC. They don't even need Scary Jerry anymore, as 4 kills have gone over to Maryville. And that's a Baron on top of it.
Again, Lamb's Respite wasn't used. Mir was trying to take down Scary Jerry before he popped that, but they go down at the same time. And APA getting caught early. This is such a great angle from Maryville, as it was Niles and Zyko pincering in on the members of TLC. APA gets caught, flashes, not able to get the Tibbers down. And then on the back half, Scary Jerry and Get Back both go golden to buy the time for Maryville to regroup. Scary Jerry flashes away from his team, which enables him to get taken down by Mirror, but not before he trades himself out, as that last auto attack popped the passive, got the Kindred, and that made it a free Baron for Maryville as they take the second Toro Baron buff of the game for themselves. Are going to look to utilize this one to end the one.
And especially, just know, and no matter where you're at, APA, Auto Orange and Niles, they'll find you. They're coming for you, Ian, and they got him.
Auto Orange said 1-1, you know? It's like, we're going for the split. He's a seer right now.
He is, honestly, a little bit of foresight coming through for Maryville and for Auto Orange. But it is about those specific focuses. It has been about their steady advantage they've built from the beginning. And they're looking for APA once again. But it's almost 10,000 gold in the lead for Maryville. And this is exactly the kind of situation that Maryville thrives in.
Kim's going to find an angle here. Niles does have TP to join.
Doesn't have an angle.
He's going to try. They're going to fight here before the inhibitors, most likely, is Kim. We'll get spotted out by that ward placed by Zyko. Oh, he's going for the deep
He's just going
flank.
straight down the lane.
That is deep. Bradley's going to fight Niles to try and prevent him from TPing in, but I think Kim, this is where he goes. If he hugs that bottom wall, he will sneak in here unseen.
All right. This is the moment for TL. Kim down, finds the big flank. Bradley's trying to get around corner. They just didn't have the damage to follow up, though. Look at Arrow. Arrow finds Scary Jerry, and he gets out as well. The Lamp to Spit has been used, but it does not matter because Maryville are smacking them with the bank. has over 10,000 gold, and Maryville, their foreshadowing has come to fruition, and they're looking on a 1-1 split.
I love that play from Kim. I think that's a great angle and one of the best opportunities they have to get back in this one, but it is too little, too late here. As that was the first Lambs Respite that was cast this game, Lizelle. And Maryville with the Alistar, they had control afterwards, and they take down TLC.
Goodness gracious, it has been insane tempo from Maryville, but also great decision making and unfortunate situation for Mir, who's still on 3 marks. And it all started from Kim Down's Wonder Wall flank at this point. It took a while to set up, but it was TL's only option.
It's a good angle. You're late in the game. This might be the best opportunity you can find. Kim Down, he didn't hug the bot wall entirely, so he was spotted a little bit before. But look at this engage on the Scary Jerry. He finds the right members, but Orange just buying space. APA wasn't able to follow up. He didn't have the flash, so Arrow has to sack himself pretty much to take down Scary Jerry. And Arrow's out of the fight, so after this, it's just Niles and Get Back dripping through everyone else. No DPS that's able to step up for the side of TLC, and Maryville, sure that fight goes in their favor.
See now a siege on the top side, the only structure that's left for Team Liquid. Him down, not looking for a flank this time. No TP wards back either. Bradley and APA can't really find an angle here. Maryville will be pushed out. I like this move from Team Liquid to push the minions outside of the turret just to make sure no extra damage goes down on their last objective. But it still is super minions barreling down, but a super Niles in the side lane that is unanswerable.
If I'm Maryville, I am looking to end here. The last thing I want to deal with is LDR on Tristana. I think that's the one thing that can maybe get TLC back in this game, because late game Triss just pumps enough where she is a problem and really tough to deal with if you are Maryville. So APA throwing down Tibbers to get sacked by the mini wave and Niles. As this Gwen
the Tibbers
can't
didn't
be
really
stopped.
do much. You do get a decent amount of damage though onto Niles, who needs to be a bit careful. Did burn the needlework, so that'll be a back off by TL.
And Ghost. And that's not all bad here for TLC. Niles doesn't have that empowered TP to get back in, so they could have a 5v4 here. And a couple of TP wards. They want to find an angle, but no Tibbers.
Huge. Because the point and click CC needs to be there to catch down a couple of key members. Needs to be there as the Dragon, number 3 to Maryville, will go over.
Good job from Niles. I think this is just A-okay from him as he was forced out, but APA sacking all of the super creeps over to Arrow. They're going to try and get him to sprint towards that LDR. LDR plus stopwatch and Arrow could be nice, and APA, if he does get that death cap again, these are the spikes that they're looking for. As Auto Orange, all chats, all me on the Dragon. Easy take.
Easy.
All him.
I gotta give a shout out though, especially I know we've been talking a lot about the encircling members of Maryville. We've talked about Auto Orange, Niles, we talked about Scary Jerry, we talked about Zyko, but specifically in both of these games, Get Back, man, on this Jace, he's looking triumphant, and against APA as well. Feels good.
I mean, Get Back, I really feel like week 1, part of that 1-5 start for the side of Maryville was that Get Back wasn't playing his best League of Legends, but good to see Get Back really, I would say, scaling throughout this split. He was the mid laner that we pitched at the best mid that was in that C-Law. Rami Bomb got the best of him in the finals, but we are starting to see Get Back really level up to the level of play we know that he can bring to the table here. Yeah. So this Jace has been, it's a big pick for Maryville because him and Niles are both so good at it, and good to see Get Back demonstrate some of that today.
That flexibility makes it huge. He also just completed the Shojins, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen not ever, but I haven't seen that build in a long time. Would be interesting to see now, though, with this advantage, Maryville need to press it in. I know you were saying you don't want that timer to come up. Well, the timer's there. Dom's completed for Arrow, and you got to see what Team Liquid can do out of a hole that they are in.
Maryville trying to put them a little bit deeper in that hole, as this will be the third Duro Baron buff secured. This one uncontested. So you're going to try and drive this one home to the bank. I don't know.
From full contest to semi-contest to no contest, 37 minutes in. And it's just the kind of state of things right now. Maryville have had an over 10,000 gold lead for a long time.
LDR and level 17 for Trist. She is a nightmare to deal with. Maryville, they do need to make sure they find a little bit of poke or some clean engages. The poke from them is going to be very strong, as it is a death cap on Kaisa as well. And APA is yet to be able to secure that death cap. Oh, actually, there's a flank bot lane. They are looking for Niles.
They are trying to find Niles, but he is very scary indeed.
Oh my god.
As, yeah, he's in a 1v2, and APA doesn't have a lot of health there. As Glacial Prison, it connects, and he's gone! Fear doesn't even get a chance to use the ulti. I'm pretty sure he used it one time this entire game. Big damage, though, from Arrow, and that's that Lord Dom, but it doesn't matter when it's Maryville in full force as the Saints foreshadowing to a 1-1. Take it whole!
Psycho wrapping that game up 0-1-16 on the Alistar. Found the pull before he was buster shotted away from Arrow. That was the second time that happened in a couple of those fights. And Maryville, I gotta give props to Niles. That 1v2 in the bot lane made that so easy for Maryville to end that game. And Maryville, hey, they just went toe-to-toe with their top dogs. They 2-0'd Fly C. They 1-1 disguised in recent weeks. Like, Maryville's starting to become a legit team you got to worry about here in Challengers League.
There's that reason why I have a hoodie in that closet right there that has Maryville on top of it. This team is one you should not discount. They will prove you wrong, and we see it here. And Orange honestly proves himself right, calling out the 1-1 oh so long ago, and we got it. Now this is it for our first series of the day. We are going to send it to a break. Afterwards, though, we'll have the Verizon post-game interview with Kangas.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, as I am here with a Verizon post-game interview with Get Back, the mid laner for Maryville, who just took a game off of the #1 team in the standings. First off, how's it feeling, man? You're punching up with the big dogs right now.
It feels good. I'd be lying if I said I was surprised, though. Like, I feel like we're scaling up really well, and that I was expecting at least to get one win today. So I'm not, like, surprised, but I guess it's good just to show it to other people, and, like, we saw some things that we need to clean up, but overall pretty happy that we could at least get the second game out, so.
Yeah, I mean, the 1-1, even Odd Orange predicted it last week in the interview, and I know we were chatting a little bit before this. Apparently, there's some kind of mentality on the team. You cannot go 0-2 for the rest of the split. What's going on there?
Yeah, that started with Odd Orange saying after our first week, we're just, well, I'll take credit. I was just absolutely inting week 1. Like, after week 1, we're like, okay, now we're kind of putting stuff together again. You know, we're not going to go 0-2 in another match, so we're good for at least a 1-1 every single match. So, yeah, that's the mentality.
All right, well, if the match checks out, then I don't believe it's possible for you to drop below top half of the standings. Where do you rank yourselves in your current power level compared to the competition? Because you've played a full round robin, you've played every team once now. Where do you think Maryville slots in?
So it's so hard to rank ourselves, and I'm not just doing this to do a cop-out answer. This is, like, genuine, because I think this is the closest league in skill that I've ever been in my entire life, like, from the top to the bottom. And I think that none of this will end up mattering. It'll be whoever's peaking during playoffs. I could see, for example, Liquid finishing, like, 6th. I could see them winning the split. Like, even though Liquid's score is very good, and so I guess in theory they are the best team, if they're only, like, 5% better than the people below them, if that. So none of it will really matter. It'll all be coming down to playoffs.
All right, so who's in best form come that time? Also maybe what the patch will look like there. And you have had experience playing in OS, now coming here to North America and playing Collegiate. Did you have any skin in the game? Because I know the APA was talking a lot. I know everybody, like Odd Orange Niles, was chirping their old teammate. Well, what was your mentality going into this match?
I don't have any skin in it, but me and Ian, like, and Spirax, like, me, APA, and Spirax are all friends, and, like, he just messaged me dumb shit all the time, and, like, and he's talking trash before the game. Like, he sent me what he sent me. I'll literally find it. He just tells me, I'm going to play this. If you pick this champ, I'm going to play this and run you. And then I was just sending him gifts back. Like, he just sends me stupid shit constantly. And so it's all in good fun. But he's just, you guys know him, man. You know what he's like. His role. So, like,
yeah, he likes to chirp. Like, what's your win rate against his Ziggs? Do you have a record against it?
I don't know. At least when he was at MU, I used to hate versing Ziggs. That's so annoying. He was so good at it as well. Like, he was so cringe diverse. He just plays, like, Ziggs or plays... what else do you play, like Zerath or just annoying champs like that? So
the artillery mages, man, you gotta watch out for those. Now we've talked to a couple members from the team. This is our first time getting to sit down and chat with you this summer split, so I want to give you the opportunity to talk about what your goals are, because we know that the top half of your map, they're just focused on Collegiate. They don't have the goal to go towards LCS anymore. They've had their experiences at that level. They're ready to, help the next generation come in. And we know that the bottom half of the map is making that push. So I want to talk to Get Back. Where's your mentality at right now, and what are your goals and motivations going forward?
Yeah, so for me, I think first and foremost, I'm pretty loyal to Maryville. They gave me a very good opportunity here, and I'm very happy here. Like, I prefer to do my degree over taking, like, So some of the other teams like Liquid and stuff like that are salaried higher, of course, etc. And where Maryville, we get our scholarship. That's essentially our form of payment. So like, I'm really happy doing this. I'm doing my cybersecurity degree. I would reevaluate at the end of my degree. I got 2 more years left. But until that's done, I don't have any intention of leaving. So I'm pretty loyal to stay here.
Okay, so you're focused on the real world. Wait, you said cybersecurity?
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean? I can kind of have a guess for it, but can you go a little more in depth? Like, what kind of jobs would that be?
Oh goodness, it's so broad. Like, I'm still not sure exactly what I want to do. Like, for example, I have a teacher or a lecturer, press, whatever it's called, that used to work for the CIA and used to work with like the deep web, the deep net, try and pull down websites like that. It could be anything. Pretty much stress testing systems or making new things. It's so broad, so broad.
So you're gonna be the guy I go to when I need to get past the 600 tweet limit that was just implemented, right?
Oh,
if I need
God.
to break that.
Yeah,
I
sure,
can
why
chat.
not? Maybe a bit more down the line, maybe a bit more coding classes, and I'll be there for you.
All right, perfect. Well, I like to close off with a fun question here. This is a hypothetical one, so hear me out, all right? I give you $1 million in a briefcase, in cash, untaxed, right now.
Okay.
It's a lot of money, right?
Yeah, of course.
But it's going to take you 8 years to graduate from MU, and you can't work a job or anything while you're there. You just got to focus on school and playing League of Legends for the next 8 years.
Yeah.
Are you taking it?
Oh, of course. That's the easiest deal ever. Like, it's like your options are you can get a bunch of money and you can invest it because I don't have a cost of living here because I'm on a full ride. Take that money and invest it, and then all I have to do is play League and just like be useless all day. And like I could just do that and like farm money.
You know
and
what?
invest.
Yeah.
So,
Now that I think about it, I really only gave you positives, didn't I?
yeah, like that just sounds great to me.
Just delay the responsibility as long as possible. Well, you know what? Congratulations, you're a millionaire. Any final shout-outs that you have get back for anybody at home watching? Maybe any fans that you got cheering you on back from your home country?
Shout out to my friends and family back home that watch. There's a group in the watch here. Maryville can help me out, and also to Ian as well. Of course, we're still good friends. It's all in good fun. So good game today, bud. But
You did split 1-1, so hopefully no bad blood between the two of you. Okay, what if it's 20 years at college? You have to spend the next 20 years still at Maryville.
No, not 20 years.
Okay,
that's
all right.
so long. That's
All right,
so
we
long to
found
be
the
in
limit.
one
We at
place.
least found one too long and then one that's acceptable. Thank you so much for coming on, get back and chatting with us. Congratulations on the win, and good luck going into your prep for your next match.
Thank you.
With that said, we're going to send it to a short break here before we are back with our second series of the day. You're not going to miss it, so we'll see you there.